With developments in West Bengal, one of the victims of the Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute of sexual harassment and rape case has alleged that she's facing an extremely hostile atmosphere inside the campus. She claims that there is an effort to sway public opinion amongst the student community against the victims. Speaking to India Today, she says the administration had not shared the internal complaints committee report with the complainants, while doing so with the accused professors instead. She says the accused faculty members continue to remain in touch with the students despite being suspended and are supposedly leading a vicious campaign against the victims. The victim, who claims she is feeling insecure and has now been shifted out of the campus hostel to the visitors' guest house. This after a few students were seen threatening and abusing her on the campus.
ICC submitted the report and the institute got the report, and we got to know from a newspaper report that they had found 2 professors guilty and had recommended the harshest punishment. But however, the report was not shared with the complainants, it was only shared with the accused professors. As a result of which, after the report being shared, there was a gap of 10 or 12 days before we complainants got to know that the report has found them guilty.
The environment is very hostile. The 3 professors who have been found guilty, 2 of them have been found guilty, one's been absconding. But all students, most of the students, you'd say 70% of them are huge fans of these teachers, and they don't want them out. They never wanted them out. But unfortunately for them, they've been found guilty of 2 of them of sexual harassment.
Okay, in fact, we will be joined by Indrajit Kundu, our colleague from Kolkata, but I believe we are joined now by the complainant herself, somebody who has undergone such a sexual harassment, sexual and rape as well in the Satyajit Ray Institute. This is supposed to be a premier institute, but such, of course, terribly shameful incidents happening on the campus. Ma'am, tell us, give us your take on what is happening inside the campus right now. Are you feeling scared? Is there a lot of pressure that is happening against the complainants?
There is tremendous amount of pressure from authority. First, it was from students in form of intimidation and harassment, which has died down a bit for now. But now the pressure has shifted to authority like faculty and the chairperson, who are engaged in intimidation and harassment of complainants.
How many professors do you hold guilty? How many professors do you think are to be completely acted against?
The ICC has already found 2 professors guilty. The ICC has already submitted its report and has recommended the harshest of punishments to 2 professors. The 3rd professor against whom I have filed the rape case is out on bail, and the court case is to proceed, and the ICC hearing has not started yet.
But you say that the other professors, they are all actually standing in solidarity with these accused professors instead of extending any support to you. Is that what is happening on the campus?
As far as complainants are concerned, no professor in the institute has come forward in solidarity with any of the complainants. But the thing is, it's not that everybody is ganging up and explicitly intimidating the complainants. It is that they are inadvertently or not engaged in supporting the administration, which is not taking any action against the professors. So it is becoming difficult for the complainant students like myself to function within the institute in such an environment.
And what about the students on the campus? Are they standing by you, or it's only a very small group of people around you?
Yeah. Right from the beginning, it has only been a very small group of students who have been supporting the complainants. Now the number has decreased further. And there may be perhaps 6 students on campus who are standing for this cause of eradicating sexual harassment on campus. All others have ganged up against the student complainants, and they are engaged in intimidating them, harassing them. Others are silent but also supporting this kind of harassment.
But why do you think is it happening so? Why are students silent, or they are not standing by you? Why is it so?
I feel there might be two reasons. First of all, the two professors who were found guilty did have a huge fan following on campus in their respective departments and so. So there are some supporters of the professors themselves. Then there are others who have only second-hand information and who have been largely misinformed by the same professors and other professors within campus itself. And there is this concern of maligning the name of the institute, which is being fed into the minds of students, as in the institute in which you are studying is being represented in poor light in media or in outside world, and that is going to affect your career. So this is also creating fear and insecurity among students, and they believe that it is better to keep silent about these issues and just keep it within the family called SRFTI rather than taking it outside. So instigation by professors is also a reason, I believe, because I for a fact know that all three of these professors are in touch with students even now.
It's just so shocking and unbelievable to hear that you think that perhaps it's the institute that is choosing its honor over justice that should be delivered to you, somebody who has undergone just so much of pain and so much of injustice. Is this making you feel bitter? Is this making you feel angry? What is it that's that's going through your mind at the moment?
It is first of all tremendous amount of pressure and indignation. Like when the chairperson of the institute comes and tells you that we shall not wash SRFTI's dirty linen in public. This statement itself, it has a lot of impact on a student who is coming up with the so-called dirty linen. So it is not leaving me bitter. It is just that it's a lot of pressure, especially when you have to work, when you have to make films under this circumstance. It's very, very, very difficult.
But you must have joined this institute, applied, filled up the application forms with so much of hope and dreams. It's a premier institute. Getting through here is very, very tough. Only select students really get through this institute. So when you joined this institute, you must have had so much of dreams about what you could do on campus, which is just, and what is happening right now is so much starker and just so much darker.
Yes, that is absolutely true, and this is exactly why we have to expose what is happening in SRFTA, because there are a lot of other students who are similarly filling up forms and appearing for interviews with a lot of dreams. So they should not have this disillusionment when they reach here. Rather, they should be prepared, or they should be rather prepared to fight against it. So this is exactly the reason why we have to expose it right now and right here, so that you don't go through this phase of disappointment and indignation that I and a lot of other female students went through.
So you think that these professors have been history cheaters, that there have been victims in the previous batches too, but maybe women or students who have chosen to keep quiet?
Of course, there is a long history of sexual harassment which has not found voice anywhere. Even now there are a lot of students within the campus who are silent about it, and it is only a very small portion of the students who have chosen to speak about it by giving complaints to the internal complaints committee. So definitely there are a lot of incidents which are known to all, but nobody speaks about it, and which are like open secrets. So yes, the tradition of sexual harassment in SRFTI is alarming, and at the same time it is it is long, and it starts from a long time ago.
But what is it then that's giving you the strength to fight it out, that too by being in the campus there? You're saying professors are conspiring against you, students are either forced to be silent or they are maligning your image there. What is it that's giving you the strength? Have you thought of leaving the campus at some point?
I had thought of leaving the campus. I had attempted to take my own life. But right now it's that I think the only way I can retaliate is just by making films, and I have a film to make. I have to start shoot on 9th, so that is just what is driving me on. If not for that, maybe I would have actually dropped out.
But what about your parents, your family, your folks? Are they saying that maybe, it's not safe for you to be on campus as you fight out for your rights? Or are they saying that maybe, you should come out of the campus?
Yes, they are very, very worried. They are really worried, but at the same time, they have, even though I have not spoken to them directly, they have come to know about what has happened to me through my own blog. So they know what I've gone through, and they too at some point feel that it is something to be fought against. So they are not for more than safety. I think they have also reached the stage where they think it's time to fight and not think about one's own safety right now.
But we can only say that, it's very, very brave of you, despite going through what you've gone through and deciding to stay on campus and facing all of this wrath of a section of people as well. But tell us, when you said that the internal committee report, you were not aware of it, but it was shared by the accused professors. Did you try taking up this issue with the chairperson?
Yes. Yeah, that is a blatant violation of law, The thing is, the ICC report is supposed to be shared with the complainants as well as the accused now found guilty, but it was not shared with us complainants, and we got to know of it from a newspaper report. And we also got to know from the same newspaper report that the administration is considering constituting another body to probe into the matter, which is again illegal, because once ICC submits its report, the institute is supposed to act on it, which they haven't done. And they are the accused people have only accused ICC of bias and all that, which is very it's very common. Once the ICC comes up with a report, the first thing accused people do is accuse it of bias. But if the accused people really wanted to go ahead with it, what they should have done is approach court with the same complaint. And they should have procured a court order saying that ICC is biased, which they haven't done. There is no court order saying there is anything wrong with the ICC or even challenging the report of the ICC, but still the institute has not acted upon the report, which is like a blatant violation of law.
But the horrible events that happened with you, which must be life-changing for you, it will be very, very difficult to talk about them. But before the sexual assault and the rape happened, did you have doubts about these professors? Were you taking up these issues constantly? Were you getting these signals that there could be something so dangerous running through in the minds of these professors?
The professor against whom I have filed a complaint of rape was said to have had a relationship with another female student on campus who was a senior of mine. This story was known to everybody, and in the video that was released on YouTube, you will even find a professor talking about it. So this is another open secret which was prevalent in SRFTI, but it was always talked about as a relationship, and even though I found it odd in the beginning, it was again normalized in the culture of SRFTI. As for the other professor who has also been found guilty, there have been, in every batch when new students come in, there are senior students who go to their junior female students and warn them about this professor, saying he has a history of bad behavior with women, so please be aware of it. So it is not that we weren't warned or we had no clue. It's not like that. Right. We did have a lot of hints, we did know about it, but we just couldn't believe it, and we just, we were in some illusion world where we just wouldn't take it in. So when it struck us, we were shocked and kept silent for a long time.
Just one final question. You said that at one point you even wanted to take your life away, but this film kept you going. Yeah. What is the subject of this film that you're making? Would you like to highlight maybe your own plight, the students' plight through this project?
Not really. There is an episode of rape in it, attempted rape in it, but it's really not about sexual harassment. It's about a girl and her grandfather living in Kolkata. I hope to make the film in a way I like.
And I do hope that, that you really go ahead with this fight of yours and the justice is delivered. Many thanks for speaking to us. We completely, of course, we do not know where you're getting this strength from, but it's incredible that you're getting this strength to be on the campus and fight for your justice. Indrajit Kundu, my colleague from Kolkata, is also with us right now. Indrajit, could you get us a sense of what does the institute really have to say, especially since the internal committee's report has been shared with the accused professor instead of the victims here?
Well, that's right. That seems to be quite a bizarre, case as far as sexual harassment is concerned, because initially when this case was reported in December last year, there was a lot of hue and cry given that SRFTI is, of course, one of the premier film institutes in the country. There are students who come from across the country to study here. So given the fact that, one would get the sense that probably the administration will take it very seriously. So there was serious cognizance initially taken. In no time, they did form the Internal Complaints Committee.
Okay.
But we've been speaking to members of the Internal Complaints Committee who have probed this entire incident, and the report has now been submitted with the administration. So it's baffling as to why it has not been shared with the victims in the very first place, but a copy of which has been shared with the accused. And the accused have now responded back to the findings of this report, and the administration says they are now taking legal opinion as to whether or not any action should be initiated against those accused. So clearly, there is a lot of insecurity as far as these victims are concerned, as she herself has narrated, and she is living in a lot of fear inside.
Several questions to be answered there by this institute, which is otherwise considered premier in filmmaking, but definitely the honor of a woman is much more than the so-called honor of this.